Photos are often important when telling a person's story, but you won't find Frazier Baker in this picture. No snapshots of him are believed to exist. Instead, here is the family he left behind.
As a teenager.
That's when Dr. Faustina Baker first heard of her great-uncle Frazier Baker, the first black postmaster of Lake City, South Carolina. The post office he oversaw in 1897 once sat here in this now empty lot on the edge of a town that Baker says did not greet her great-uncle with open arms.
Uncle Frazier was shot one night in the shoulder leaving the post office. And they finally demolished the post office. They burned that one down, thinking that that would change his mind about staying on his job.
But Frazier Baker continued to do his job until the early morning hours of February 22, 1898.
After asking my father what happened, he said, well, the white people didn't want him in Lake City.
This is where Baker says her great-uncle was lynched by an angry mob of white men over the color of his skin. Baker's baby daughter was also killed, and the post office burned to the ground.
I was disappointed in myself for not knowing more about it.
House Majority Whip James Clyburn can tell story after story about his home state's racial strife, but Frazier Baker's was one he'd never heard.
I grew up in Sumter, which is not that far away from Lake City. It just made me recall a lot of my own childhood.
While no one was ever convicted in the brutal murder, some reparation would be given over a century later.
115th Congress of the United States of America.
Thanks to Dr. Faustina Baker's determination, Clyburn introduced a bill to rename Lake City's post office
As the Postmaster, Frazier B. Baker Post Office.
In 121 years to the day of Baker's lynching, his name was displayed proudly in a town that once tried to run him out.
Finally.
There are lessons in history, but most people don't know the history, and therefore the lesson will be lost.
A hope that doesn't happen if people only stop long enough in this post office to learn about a man who lost his life trying to protect it. Sarah Blake Morgan, The Associated Press.
Raised by my mother, no father. Piss poor, we ain't have a dollar, but it really wasn't a problem. Mama made miracles every day like she had a genie in a bottle. All I need was a swallow. No Similac in my bottle. Anemia soon gon' follow. No iron in my blood, but that's still on my hip. And there was no deficiency, giving up a hollow. Fold gon' follow. I be in control, no toggle. Empty and reload on my rival. Well known for survival. Read both Quran and the Bible.